Here we go. 2024. Yo, you know something? This is my first interview on VladTV for 2024, and I couldn't have started it off with a better guest than my brother. Please welcome back to VladTV. Joc, what it do?
What's happening, Prez? I appreciate that too. And I must say, man, you have the best intros for your guests. I mean, I walk out of here, every time I walk out of here, I feel like somebody. I feel special. You feel it?
Well, I'm going to tell you, I told you offline, my brother, you coming up in here looking like money. Like 2024 is treating you right. I love the fit. You're looking good. You're sparkling.
I appreciate it. You know, normally, if you go back in the history of my Vlad interviews, I just be throwing shit on. So this is one of them days. I was like, you know what? I ain't doing that shit today. I'm gonna put some clothes on today.
Nah, you're looking good. You're looking like money, brother. You're clean. You're looking good. Okay. Yo, you ready to get this thing started?
Of course, I'm here.
You know, Joc, and I tell you this all the time, I so love doing these interviews because your perspective and your wisdom, you know, it goes far deeper than surface in the way that you really look and break down things. Like, I just enjoy these interviews, so I'm happy to get into it with you. Here we go. Not sure if you're aware.
Uh-oh.
But DJ Vlad is going viral right now.
Yes, he is.
Which he does about 3-4 times a month these days. Taraji P. Henson. I'm sure you saw that interview with her, and she broke down in her interview, and essentially she was saying she, was thinking about stepping down and stepping away from the business at one point because, as accomplished as she is, she doesn't feel as though she is compensated in the same way that her contemporaries are. She works very hard, and by the time agents, managers, this one, that one, they take their part, she's not coming home with much. Vlad stepped in and said, look, Taraji P. Henson is worth $12 million. She lives in a $6 million house. Mm-hmm. Nobody wants to hear millionaires complaining.
Here's the bigger problem. No one wants to hear a millionaire complain that they didn't get more millions. You're already a millionaire. Taraji lives in a $6 million house. She's worth $12 million.
What?
No one wants to hear.
Sacrificed.
Nobody wants to hear Vlad complain about money.
And the internet went into an uproar. And one of the main reasons they went into an uproar is because, Vlad, you're white. How dare you speak on the finances of a black woman, especially someone as accomplished as Taraji P. Henson? Mm-hmm. What's your thoughts?
It's interesting because let's just be clear. When you start to speak on the powers to be or the protocols that's unforeseen to the public, that's shunned upon because, people feel like, you could be stepping on toes, you could be going against the very powers that pay you. And the climate now, as we see with platforms such as, podcasts and people being more free to speak their mind, even just with a simple going live or just putting something up on the internet. I think people are more vocal these days, and I can respect it and I appreciate it. I felt some kind of way when Vlad said that, because I was like, well, you know what? I was thinking to myself, you know what? We always take on this whole notion that once we see these super celebrities, like they're super paid. And you have to understand that sometimes, man, they ain't getting the dollar you think, because by the time it trickled down to them, so many people have been paid, they walking away with 35% of their earnings. I don't care how much money Taraji has made. I don't care what she's worth. Just because she has a $6 million home does not mean that she can't feel how she feels about being paid. I mean, when you start talking about equal opportunity, first and foremost, when we speak of a space like the entertainment world of Hollywood, sexism comes into place, classism comes into place. and even colorism. So when you think of a Taraji, you know, she's right there in that fair complexion, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like she get a pass, right? You can see her doing bigger things, but she ain't super light skinned. Somebody super light skinned or of another race could walk right in and get a bigger dollar than her. Or a man could step in. Well, that's why I said sexism. A man could come in and boom, just that fast, he's getting more money than her. Just because she's worth 12 million does not mean she got 12 million in her bank account. You know, I can have $1 million in my bank account and have $11 million in life insurance. You know, when people ask the question of, well, how do you raise your net or your, you know what I'm saying, what people say your worth, your net worth, how do you raise that? Well, those are one of the ways to do it. You know what I'm saying? Right now, if I go and apply my life insurance and I got a $10 million life insurance policy, that doesn't mean that I have $10 million cash liquid. You know what I mean? So I don't get caught up in what we assume people are worth or what we Google someone's net worth to be. I don't get caught up in someone's accomplishments. I'm going to look at it on the surface level of it. At the end of the day, if she's one of those people, because imagine this, you've been playing the game the way you're supposed to. She's done an excellent job at making her place in the whole entertainment scene when it comes to, you know, television and movies, right? She's made her place. You would agree with me and say she's secured there, right?
Absolutely.
So let's think of this. When you're thinking to yourself, yo, by the time I get here, I should be able to get this type of dollar amount. Once I've gotten these particular accolades, once I've gotten this many films behind me, once I've made a certain amount of money, my films or my shows have grossed a certain amount of money, then I expect to be compensated properly, you know, compared to my accomplishments. Now, let's say you've done all this, you look up and you've been in this for 30 years, and you get there, you're like, yeah, finally, boom, and they still playing with you. You're gonna feel like, you know what? And in this day and age, like as I started to combo out with, like people are more vocal. So I'm not mad at her for speaking up. You know, think about it. If no one spoke up about how these people were being paid unfairly, when it came to the whole concept of this actor strike, this writer strike, that came about because people began to speak out. You're not gonna get change if you don't speak out. So I salute Taraji wholeheartedly. At the end of the day, you know, like the statement she made about having to fire her whole team, you damn right. I should have seen Taraji on every damn commercial. And this is no shade to Shaquille O'Neal, right? I look up and I see Shaquille O'Neal on 1 million commercials. Shaq deserved it. He put his work in, right? But I'm sure some of those other commercials, no, I'm not saying he shouldn't have them. I'm just saying with the level of success she's had, I should be seeing her, someone who is active in their field. Shaq don't play basketball no more. Shaq is a multi-millionaire, if not close to a billionaire. You know what I'm saying? But his work, his accomplishments, you know, when you go in to look at what he's done and accomplished, you can see the compensation now. You can see the smooth ride for him now. When we think of a Taraji, I ain't seen her on no commercials.
No.
Commercial. I just seen Vivica Fox on the commercial. But I haven't seen Taraji on any commercials. Not saying she doesn't have them, but on my side of things, I haven't. So I feel her.